Hello, folks. This is Tommy Milligan of Milligan Livestock. Wanted to jump on and just talk through the semen sale that we've got on Thursday. This will be the first of our semen dispersal, all our frozen embryos, as well as semen. On this particular sale, it'll just be semen. We sold. We were the owners of showgoats.com and sold that last July, and then we sold our doe herd and bucks this summer, and so we're going to be moving forward and selling our semen that we've got stored over at Bonanza, and then we will have quite a bit of equipment to work through as well. But wanted to jump on and talk to you a little bit about the offering. I know you can read through these, but just to shed a little light on some of the bucks that are in this offering. The first one we lead off here was Riddler. There's 10 lots of this. It'll be 10 straws each lot. Riddler is a Batman son that's owned by Bob May. He had a nothing but facts dam from Pfeiffer's. He was a big featured goat that was really long spined, shapely back, good chested, had the shaggy legs there at the front of the shag leg trend that we saw come live. Just a real good goat, a Batman son that has made a difference and still has some value out there in the real world. The next offering is Bug Eye. There's 4 lots of Bug Eye, 5 straws per lot. Bug Eye also is a Batman son with a Helms bred mama, kind of an old mama. She was a full sib, the 2009, if you kept up with the Helms, just to give you some vintage history on that one. Mom was a full sib to 2009. This one was kind of crazy handling, very expressive muscled, had great feet and legs, and offered great extension and balance. Again, that's the Bug Eye buck. Got his name because he was kind of freaky-eyed. The next lot that's offered is Moneybags, and got his name because it took bags of money to buy this one. He was a direct 191 son out of a bingo daughter raised by the Schaefers, Hugh and Ann Schaefer. They're in Texas. This is what a $20,000 one looked like before we sold $20,000 ones. He was at the front of the game, a direct 191 son. His mother's sister was actually Absolute's mother from Ann Schaefer. Some old school genetics that really did us a great job, made Batman and Joker, and so surely made a big difference in our program. The next one there is Diamond. Diamond was a Bean 8504 out of a Rolex daughter. Again, vintage pedigree. You get back into some of the Douglas Bean stuff. Doug Bean had some tremendous genetics that then formed and made the Shrink program. Another old school genetically bred buck that had crazy shape for his time, had an exotic look. The next one is Hayden No Tag. Hayden No Tag was an Otis sired buck with a Duncan mama. A big pattern buck that had big legs and dense muscle. We didn't get to use him much. That was the boy that worked for us there when we had Milligan Livestock, and just a neat buck. Didn't have much semen put up on him. Another one that Hayden had was this 1479. 1479 was a Tango sired buck that died at 9 months old. He was a wild-looking, crazy-touching one that probably would have made lots of money, but this is all the semen we've got on that cat. So the next buck that's in line is Otis. Otis was a sired by Mortgage Lifter, which was a 1703 son out of a Pfeiffer Justified daughter that Earl Peacock had. It's funny, I went to drop off this doe that Jan had bought from us, Jan Rogers from Otis, Colorado, where he got his name Otis. I sent the doe there to get her flushed, and Earl asked if I wanted to see his new buck, and it was Mortgage Lifter, and he ran this buck out, and I was just thoroughly impressed with him, and so Jan flushed to that buck and made this buck as well as several others and some killer does. This dude made us an incredible set of females and piles of money over his lifetime. The oldest living buck to ever live at our house. He lived a long time too. Bob was a Hercules son from David Garrett. When Danny Thompson, good buddy of mine there in Tecumseh, Shawnee area, went out to find one, he was on a trip to find one with a big old butt, and that's where he got his name, Bob. This one was freaky in his day. He had wild skin. He was crazy chested, hard muscled, and he took the $25,000 picture the day we decided to wash him and prop him up. There's 4 lots of 5 straws each of that one. And then we roll down here to Joker. Joker was sired by Moneybags. He was out of the world record-selling doe at the time, which was actually the grand doe at the Texas Weather Buck and Doe sale that we purchased in Fredericksburg. Went on to name her Irene, purchased her for $25,500, then a few weeks later bought money bags at the Labor Day sales from the Schaefers for $20,000. So this is a $45,000 mating before anybody was jumping off the cliff and making $45,000 matings. Joker and Batman were brothers. This dude and his brother put us on the map. There's several. We've got several units of semen stored up on that. So if you happen to win that and want some more, we can probably work something out. Batman was his brother. He was my favorite. I actually sold this buck 3 times. When we were finished using him, we sold him to the Dunsmore family in North Dakota, and then I had a chance to help Rich Hutchings, who started Top Gun Show Goats there in Nevada. He purchased Batman from the Dunsmores, and then Batman's final resting place, Bob May bought him from Hutchings and went to California, and that's where he passed. But Batman went on to make goats like Riddler and Bug-Eye and a lot of doe kids and weathers that went out and had lots of success across the country. Again, $45,000 mating. This was a fun time to be in the business. That was Batman and Joker. Not sure was an Ocho Cinco buck that was sired by Goofy. Ocho Cinco got his name uniquely because that's the only 2 Spanish words I knew to tell the Mexican at Claire Powell's to catch the 85 tagged buck because we could not get him caught. Claire wasn't there. A buck that I bought, there at the farm in the heat of the summer and gave $10,000 for that guy. He was a changer, no question. Did us a great job. Didn't live a long time. He was for sure different. Not sure. Again, that was before we knew how to take pictures. We didn't know how to clip, and so you can't tell much about that buck. The next one here is Ajax. Ajax was out of a step up that was raised by 5-star Sterling Scott. Out of that buck, and then actually this goat was raised by Andrew Jackson from Missouri. It's how he got his name, Ajax. I thought this goat was really ahead of his time in terms of being super moderate, dense, shaggy, muscular, attractive. I mean, this guy was really unique. I mean, super moderate, just way ahead of his time in terms of the progressive game. There's one lot of 5 straws on that one. I'm not sure the inventory. I had to check, but we may have some more of that. The next buck there is Snapper. Snapper, clearly this was before we knew what the heck we were doing to take pictures. He was an original 191 son that we bought from Joe Ed there, Kenneth's dad. This was our first attempt at trying to get some of the 191 genetics before we jumped off the cliff and bought money bags. This one here, clearly we didn't know what we were doing. This goat was way better running loose in the pen. We tried to prop him up, but here's some old school genetics that you can get your hands on. Won't cost much to learn how to AI. Then we drop into a buck that really made a difference in our program. That was Da Vinci. Da Vinci was Lasagna's son. We bought Lasagna's mother from Kevin Mock. Kevin Mock had bought that doe from John Hinkhouse at the Texas Stars Doe Show. He flushed her, made some goats like Blacklist, went by on a whim one day, and she had missed her last service, and anyway, long story short, got that doe bought. First doe she made was buck she made was Lasagna, and Lasagna made Da Vinci. Again, that one really changed our program. This one was the highest grossing buck to ever walk across our property. I mean, this one was flat good. Pfeiffer actually just sold a mature doe that was sired by Da Vinci in their mature sale this year. That was a result of a jump we sold them 5 years ago. So here's some really proven genetics that have stood the test of time. We've sold semen as high as $500 a straw. We got lots of it still on this guy. We've got 8 lots of 5 straws each. You can jump in and get in where you fit in. The next buck there is Pac-Man. We had quite a few of these Tango sons. Tango was a Frank the Tank that was sired by Batman. You can tell Batman was heavily used, especially on the doe base of our herd. The mama was a Prather doe on this guy. Pac-Man was ahead of his time in terms of raw muscle shape, made lots of good ones and lots of dollars for us. And then Pac-Man went on to sire Elliot's only buck he ever kept out of his bottle goat that was called Dark Horse. We've got 10 lots of 5 straws each of Pac-Man in this offering. And as you continue to scroll down through there, the next one is Diablo. Diablo was another Tango son. It was out of a Bob Mama. This one was big center, tremendously thick, and he was a real popular lease buck for our program. There's 2 lots of 5 straws on him. Casper, this was an attempt at us trying to get in on some of the big hair. Schneeberger went and bought this Twisted Sister, which was a flip side leapfrog buck from Kate Hoffman. He made a litter of these things. I believe this one was a mate to Dyer's there in Georgia's buck he called New Money. This one had the traditional Hoffman shag. The demeanor in this goat, though, he was a prick. He wasn't very friendly to get in the pen with, and that's why we sold him. My boys couldn't get in the pen with him. But there's 2 lots of 5 straws each on that one. The next one is 747. Here is one of probably my favorite bucks born in terms of just watching him grow. This guy was so dense. Boldest, shaggiest, wildest centered one that I'd ever thought we'd made. He died way too early. Made some really great females, and we did put some semen up on him. He is as good as he looks in his picture. The other buck picture there is Bodacious. That was out of 747's sister, her only mating, and so this was a really unique one for us as well. There's 4 lots of 5 straws there on 747. And then we jumped down to a buck we called Capone. Capone was simply a hitman son out of a wild wizard mama. Some old genetics in that one. This one made sellable goats that paid bills. We've got 5 lots of that one in there at 5 straws out of Capone. And then we drop into the Eyes on Me buck. I don't have a picture of this buck. Eyes on Me was a buck from Glen. I'll be honest, I don't have any idea how that one was bred. I just know that one had lots of good to him. We used him some. He got leased out, and then we put up a little semen on him, and there's what we've got, 3 lots of 5 units each on that one. Free Your Mind, that was another one from Glenn. He's a lowrider son. This one looked like a Dorper sheep. He's wide-bodied, big muscle, big hip. Cooper Bounds was actually by and was looking through the bucks one day, and Free Your Mind was actually running loose out in the pen, and he said he would breed every goat on the place to that one. He was really unique in terms of his width of skeleton, his expressiveness of muscle. You can tell up through his forearm. I mean, his center body mass was tremendous. His rack shape was killer. His loin was big. His hip was big, and he's real expressive muscled as well. This one just needed the big chubby legs, and then he would have obviously been priceless and never probably made it to Gunsmoke. So anyway, there's that one. There's 5 lots of 5 straws each on that one. The next buck, there is a video of that one. I don't mean to kick that off, but if you get in there and look in the lot, there's a video. We don't have a picture. That's the Jade 8080 buck. He was one of 4 bucks that I had an opportunity to sell for Glenn with Jade Livestock there in 2020, that high-profile online buck sale. Outlaw Show Goats actually bought 8080 and 8077 there in New Mexico, and we all know that they didn't dispersed. That sold to Kedrick Miller, and those things went to Miller, and I'm not sure where those bucks ever ended up, but we were told to put up some semen on 8080 and 8077. We did that. Never been offered until today. This 8080 sold for $26,500. This goat, just in terms of goats that were really rugged, muscular, and sound, he's a Choctaw bingo son. I don't know much about that, but in this same sale will be the sale that Pfeiffer's bought the buck they call Perfect Timing. That's had a massive impact there. And so here's an opportunity to buy some semen on bucks that has not been offered in 8080 and then 8077. That's the other buck that was offered on that day. He brought $20,000, also sold to Outlaw, the Dope family there in New Mexico. Another, sound, functional, big-footed, muscular buck that just looked like a buck. You could study the videos. Those bucks weren't pimped on. They were sent to me, and we fed them. We washed them, dried them, kind of knocked the long hairs off, and, you get what you get. Those things had big bones, big feet. Running gears were good. Flexibility is great on both sides of their skeleton. Those goats sure have a lot to offer. There's 5 lots of 5 straws on those as well. We drop in there to Tubby Two Shoes. Tubby obviously found out that he was pretty good there in 2023. He sired the Reserve Grand Weather at Oklahoma Youth Expo, and it got back to him apparently, and he died there in April. After the Youth Expo, we had lots of people already signed up to have jumps on him. Lots of semen sold on that buck at the time. This is the biggest hip, biggest ended one ever been born at our house. I mean, this one was tremendously big-centered, tremendously big upper hip, big pinned, deep twisted, huge expressive through his stifle, big muscle, big back goat that still had lots and lots of look. His pictures, obviously, not the greatest pictures. There was some mature pictures I can't find, but that we took there right after he won or was reserve granted OYE, and man, they were just stellar, impressive as a mature buck. But anyway, there's quite a few lots. We got 5 lots of 5 straws on that one. That one makes really good goats. The next one is Hennessy. This was a Da Vinci son that we were going to keep. We never even pictured him. There you see him in his working harness. We had turned him out to start breeding does, and as you'd have it, we liked him so much that he decided that he wouldn't live any longer as well. Never got a marketable picture of him. Never got any goats bred to him. He died. We did get some semen collected before we put him up as an insurance policy. He was just a good animal. This one, there's 4 lots of 5 straws each on that one. The next one's Outcast. Outcast was another Da Vinci son that was out of a 747 female, sold online for, I'm sorry, he was out of that's the wrong goat. He's actually out of a big sexy Prather doe. Outcast was a Da Vinci son that had lots of look, lots of balance, and lots of shag. A pretty unique goat. The next one comes in there was Bodacious. This is the highest selling buck we ever sold online. He was a Da Vinci son out of 747 sister. He brought nearly 30,000 online. We had in terms and conditions that we'd keep 100 straws on him. We've sold very little of it. This was a massive feature goat that had, I mean, just tremendous back shape, tremendous bone. There we go. Now we're on the right one. Bodacious, the red, got the red spot there on his leg. There's also a video of him the day that he sold. That one was pretty cool. There was lots and lots of interest on that one. 4 lots, 5 straws each. And then Dark Horse, that was Elliot's buck. Dark Horse was a buck that was out of his bottle doe, Shelly, that was out of an old Hutchings doe, and sired there by Pac-Man. Buck made a huge start to Elliot's college fund. This goat, super attractive in his build. He was big in his feature, huge chested, just, I mean, super attractive. There's 4 lots of 5 straws there on Dark Horse. And then we get in there to GMF, and, I thought that was one good mother. You can fill in the blank. Bob May and I bought that one from the Ryan family. He was a Hitman son out of a Pfeiffer chopper doe that the Ryans raised. Also, his video is in there. I think his video is pretty impressive. That was the just after he sold, a few months after. We clipped him off and just threw him out there and shot a video. That's a pretty cool animal. 2 lots, 5 straws there on GMF. And then we get down into Disturbed. That was a Dirty Dog son that I bought some semen on from Corey Gall. Back when I owned showgoats.com, I watched lots of online auctions, like a lot of you folks do. And I would sit and think, man, that's undervalued. And I bought it, and here it is. My loss, your gain. There's 1 lot of 4 straws of Disturb, and then $25.98. I'll be honest, this is a buck that got lost in the inventory. I don't really have much information on him. If you need to practice your AI game, here's a really cheap way to do that. Anyway, there's the offering. We've got lots of semen. Lots of semen. This will be the first of many offerings. You got questions, please call. My telephone number is 405-880-0191.